Well, Paul, there was a terrific attendance at your conference this year in the Slieve Russell, and even though big challenges remain, I thought that the mood was much more positive than from some time. Is that how you saw it as well?
Yeah, I think people come to the conference were hoping to hear some good news, that there was some positivity in the future for them. I suppose after 3 difficult years, one would hope and one couldn't countenance that the market could collapse any further than it has. I think it's very important that the Federation gives some optimism that things will be different. I think we're due a bounce in tourism. I think things have been so difficult for so long, with many people hanging on for dear life in this business. That was important we left them go home with a sense of optimism.
Indeed, indeed. And you had some interesting things to say about the absence of some key European low-fares airlines on routes into Ireland. Would you expand a little on that for us?
Well, I'm very concerned. I think the dominance of the 2 major airlines, I think, whilst they have served Ireland well in terms of delivering tourism, we are very reliant on the main 2, and that's Aer Lingus and Ryanair. So much so that I would fear perhaps that if one were to be in any form of trouble at all, that we would find very quickly access into Ireland would be gone. Also, the thing I find very concerning is the lack of competition, particularly from the countries that we consider our key markets. We're very reliant just on those 2 single players, so we don't have any go, no EasyJets, no Transavia, no Flybe, BMI have effectively gone as well. That's a real concern, I think, for everybody in tourism, that we have all our eggs in one basket yet again, and could we afford it? I don't think we can.
It's not a good place to be, certainly, that level of reliance. And of course, one of the things, while low-cost carriers have been terrific in making flying more affordable, I mean, what sometimes I think is missed is that a lot of the business that was generated on the Irish routes was Irish business that was going out of the country. Yeah,
and some of the emigrant workers coming in and out. I think you've seen recently the dominance of Shannon and how that affected Shannon's future. Yeah. And the DAA, whilst a lot can be said about them, they even feel, I believe, that the dominance of 1 or 2 airlines is not good in the national interest. It doesn't serve Irish airports well. It doesn't serve the regional airports at all, because most of the access is into Dublin.
Yeah.
And I believe that we need to encourage other low-cost airline operators to access Ireland, and they should be encouraged to do so, even if it disadvantages the other 2 major airlines.
Yeah, yeah. New government, Paul, new broom, a new start, I suppose. We have an energetic young minister in Leo Varadkar and a Minister for State, Michael Ring, from one of Ireland's top tourist destinations, Westport. Are you encouraged by these appointments, and what are the messages you have for these 2 gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm encouraged. I mean, again, coming from a position of hope, I think you'd have to hope that the new minister and the new team are going to do something that is going to have, I think, an important effect and positive effect on tourism. I haven't met either of the 2 individuals yet in their new capacity. I think our shopping list is well known, and it's not so much a shopping list, but access to cheaper credit, access to credit at all is important, but cheap credit is very important. Combating the inequity in the local authority rates issue is a huge problem for us. We have an overcapacity problem, and whilst demand can help resolve some of that, it won't resolve all of it. So I think a government that's going to try to work with us somewhat to deal with that. And then the other costs that we can't control, and that mainly would be in power generation. We have a market that's been deregulated, and as a result of deregulation we have higher costs than we had at the start. And I understand why it's higher, but it's not good enough that it remains high. And I think we need a government that's going to be active and will look to lead on some of these issues. I have felt for some time that we are really at the end of a very long list of things to do in government, and tourism offers, I believe, a great opportunity for government to generate and sustain real jobs in this industry.
Sure, and indeed, particularly in certain parts of the country where there aren't other employment opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, a Dell and a Microsoft will never darken the smallest village in Ireland, and tourism exists there, and it's important that it stays there. And if we don't have it there, the product will be very disadvantaged by it. People who come here will leave saying, this simply isn't what we thought it was going to be, and we're not coming back.
Well, as you said at the outset, Paul, 3 horrible years, 2008, 2009, 2010. Do you feel that we're going to see a return to growth in 2011?
Yeah, I mean, I am optimistic. I think it can be nothing but optimistic. I think if we were to consign ourselves that we're going to have another bad year, we'd probably shut up shop.
Yeah.
And I think there has been a propensity in Ireland for people to look over the edge and see the doom and the gloom and see the bottom. I think, the glass is half full, it's not half empty. I think with a new government we have a chance to draw a line on the sand and say, look, what's behind us is behind us, we can't change the past. We are due a bounce, as I said. We had a very bad year last year. As you know, the weather bookended both ends of the year. We had the ash crisis in the middle. we had a UK campaign that really wasn't very engaging with the public over there in terms of converting them to come to Ireland as visitors. And I think that the agencies in tourism, I think, have listened to industry. I think there's a new desire that we all work together. I think we are all on the same team. And I think all of our members, and certainly in the hotel and guest house sector, know that we have a part to play, are very happy to be doing that. But we do need to see a confident return to the English market by our tourism agency, and that generates a trigger to come to Ireland and encourage overseas visitors. We really need it to turn. I think this is the year it has to.
Well, on that very positive note, during the St. Patrick's week, and with the expectation of a visit by Her Majesty and perhaps President Obama to follow, on that confident note, we'll wish you well, Paul, for the season, and hope that 2011 is the start of the fight back.
Yeah, I hope so, and I hope on the Queen's visit that we show the maturity that Ireland is well renowned for, and the hospitality, and encourage people to come on the world stage to visit Ireland.
And I'm sure we will. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Eamon.